Now, beginning with what I left off in part two, basically I was talking about in man's antiquity, in our beginning origins before divine intervention and extraterrestrial intervention. And you can check those videos out that I've also posted on my page. Before then, we looked towards nature's symbols, as a way to learn how to communicate with each other, to learn how to interact with our environment, and to also learn how to interact with each other. Okay, we learned such things as hunting. We learned hunting, and even though we didn't have the equipment the animals had, we were able to develop tools, technology, so to speak. And most importantly, while I'm saying this, if you just check out the average National Geographic or Animal Planet episode in animals and how they engage in their communities or social gatherings, with especially with this alpha male thing. And one of the best examples that I can think of was in Africa. There was the red-nosed baboon, okay, red nose. And what happens is when it's time to mate or mating season, all the males gather together and they're beating their chests really, really hard to show to the females that they're strong. Now, certain monkeys will attack the other male monkeys too to test their strength. And in the end, whichever baboon is the strongest male, or whichever male is the strongest, that was the one that got to mate with all the other females. Okay, so all the other females will take of his sperm to germinate the seed that will bring forth their offspring. Okay, because in so many words, this is like nature's eugenics. Okay, in order for species to continue, they have to contain the strongest genes, right? So the females in these societies or in these gatherings, which are mostly, animals, which are animals, and they're dealing with instinct, they will choose the strongest male. So what happened to all the other males who weren't the strongest? They were asked out. They didn't get any, okay? And here's where, even in nature, they have seen signs of some of these males who didn't get to mate with females attempting to either rape the females or rape other males who they consider weaker than them or more feminine to them and attempt to have sex that way. Now, how does this translate to man or humans? Okay, now when I refer to man, I'm referring to men and women. And if I'm differentiating between the sexes, then I'll let you know. All right. Now, in these ancient tribal societies, it was pretty much done the same way. One of your origins of the Olympics were competitions that were held to test the skills of other males. Okay. And in some societies, these things were also held for women to test to see who would be the reverend of the mother goddess or the main priestess in a particular tribe or group. Okay, so whoever ended up being the male that conquered all of these different aspects of the competition, that male will go on to be able to, or he was allowed to mate with the other women because they didn't wish to have weak ass men, in so many words, to be the father. Or basically what was considered weak at the time was like, okay, if this male climbed the rope or the tree faster than that one, then the one that climbed the tree faster, in their eyes, of course, is going to be the strongest one. So that would be the one that they will mate with. Okay? So, alpha males, in so many words, got the booty. The others did not. So, from there, they either turned to rape. They either turned, whether that was raping other females or raping other males, or here's one of your first origins of prostitution, especially when man took upon the ability to use material goods, whether that was fruit, weapons, tools, or whatever, to use as an exchange for other goods, there were groups of men who could not mate with women because they either weren't the strongest or wasn't deemed favorable. There would be women who also wasn't declared favorable also. So when they would meet up, it's like, okay, I'm man, you woman. In so many words, that's fuck. Fuck meaning it's a German. It comes from German or Germanic origins, and fuck in so many words means to penetrate. Period. Plug in. All right. This is why a lot of individuals use the word fuck when referring to sexual intercourse. Now, of course, there would be some women that didn't just want to give it up that easily. There would have to be something like a material good or a favor that they would take in exchange for this male to have sexual intercourse with her. Now, you can research this and you will find origins or historical origins going along these same lines. So basically, what I'm saying to you right now, this is one of the reasons why it is accepted in this society that the vagina, the yoni, or pussy, the slang word, can be used as a means of exchange to get goods. This started a long time ago. Prostitution didn't come in when so-called white people or Caucasian people came. And you'll hear this a lot through certain people on YouTube or wherever. They'll say, well, none of this stuff went on until the white man came. That's some bull. Okay? So, this is why a lot of men to this day, and especially when you talk to a lot of elders, any guy that's over 75 or so years old, their view on women is a lot worse than the view on women coming from a lot of younger brothers. Actually, a lot of us younger brothers get our stuff or our concept of that from these older guys. And a lot of these older guys are married and been married for years. And they look at their wives as just some hoe that they take care of. Period. Listen to them talk. You know, listen to the complaints. And not only from the male's perspective, the old woman perspective. One of the main reasons that women ration out sex once they get married is because after a while they begin to feel like a whore. So they save the sexual favors as something you do on a special occasion, or when you want, or when you really desire something. Okay, I'm dealing with the origins of this stuff, and I'm going to deal with how it really messes us up as a society, okay, or as a world community. So these are some of the origins of prostitution, and there are other origins too that span off from this one. Okay, males in prostitution started off like this, or one of the origins is this. There would be priestesses or reverend mothers who just wish to get their rocks off because at certain times of the year they ritualistically would have to have sex. And if there was no so-called desirable male around, they would have to get the best that they can. And they will offer trinkets, gold, services, whatever, blessings from these priestesses in order for these guys to give them some phallus, to give them some lingam, to give them some dick, so to speak. Okay, so prostitution didn't just start from a woman's perspective, it started from the male perspective too. Okay, and whether we realize it or not, a lot of us who are parents or progenitors or raising our progeny or children or kids to be whores, and we're not even really paying attention to what we're doing. Okay, now one of the early origins, and it's interesting that I mentioned the priestess because now I'm going to go into the next segment in the next video. Peace.